Nick Bayer, welcome to Pocket for Thursday, the 28th of July. Today on the show, plus delays, a friendly dance, and childhood trauma. Probably from the dance. Ooh, a hat. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. And first up, Nintendo has delayed the release of their Pokemon Go Plus accessory. Originally expected at the end of this month, the watch-like device will instead be launching in September, though no specific date was given. The Bluetooth device talks to your phone and allows you to locate and catch Pokemon without pulling your handset out of your pocket, which basically destroys all the fun the app has to offer. And in more Pokemon Go news, Japanese authorities are warning players in Fukushima not to venture into radiation zones, else they become a Pokemon-esque mutant themselves.
Pick it bigger.
Moving on, and yesterday evening, the hills of Bellevue, Washington echoed with the sounds of 1,000 champagne corks being popped as Valve celebrated with the highest esports prize pool ever. Yes, the Dota 2 International has done it again with the 2016 cash pool eclipsing last year's record haul of $18.4 million. With around 3 weeks to go, the total prize pool is, at the time of reporting, $18.7 million and is still on a steady upwards trajectory. If you take out $1.6 million put forward by Valve themselves, that leaves $17.1 mil generated by the community. As only 25% of proceeds from in-game sales go into the prize pool, that means that the Dota community has spent $68.4 million or 91 million Aussie dollars in the last 2 months. Pete, John, we are in the wrong business. We need to start releasing compendiums for Pocket. Moving on now, and there are a bunch of announcements overnight, so let's power through all the good stuff. I'm not kidding, I think it's a really good idea. And we'll have a prize pool, and in the end, we keep the prize. First off, Level 5 has officially revealed Lady Layton, in which players will be playing as the Professor's daughter. Called it yesterday. That foresight. It will be launching on 3DS, iOS, and Android in autumn of 2017. Next up, Nordic Games confirmed a leak from earlier in the week. Darksiders 1 is getting remastered for PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, and PC. Release date to come. Cooperative shooter Warhammer End Times Vermintide is migrating from PC to PS4 and Xbox One. From October 4th, the game will be available on those consoles with all of the PC version's DLC packaged in. Dangerous Golf creators Three Fields Entertainment have thankfully ditched the whole golf angle and are now working on a new driving game, falling back on their Criterion pedigree. And lastly, Sega has announced a release date for the Western release of Yakuza 0. The game will be hitting digital shelves on the 24th of January. All right, now it's time for Thing of the Day. And after we take the money, we just give them this.
And now, dating with Nick Boy.
Touch my penis!
And now, it's Thing of the Day.
When you're playing Dark Souls and you see your friends.
And now, dating with Nick Boy.
Touch my penis!
And now, it's Thing of the Day.
All right, now it's talk through time, but unfortunately I have no one to talk through with. Come in. Hey!
Hey, buddy!
I'm joined now by Brad for our talk through. We can probably stop this now.
Oh, that is all the exercise I need for the week.
Today's talk through comes in from Red_Tim, who says, "Dear Good Game, did any of you play games that you feel were inappropriate for your age? I remember being about 10 years old, playing GTA 3 with all the violence and criminal activity involved in that game. Looking back, I feel I should have waited. But I was curious if you divulged into games without an awareness of what was happening regarding adult content. I'm not violent or criminal, by the way, just hindsight thinking." Brought you in,
Yeah.
because I'm worried you're still a child. I've seen the games you play. Completely
I'm an
inappropriate.
adult.
Really?
Yeah, I cooked myself dinner last night.
See, an adult wouldn't say that proudly. An adult would have been doing that for years and years. As a child,
Yeah.
a younger child, what scarred you?
When I was very, very young, I used to actually play Half-Life with my friend's dad. Those head crabs are not good for young children. And I actually remember once one jumped towards the screen and I screamed and fell over and like hurt myself because I was genuinely that scared.
I wouldn't have necessarily thought of Half-Life have been a terrifying game. How old were you at that point?
Primary school, probably like year 3.
Oh,
so-
right, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
cool.
little.
Yeah, I had a sort of similar thing of being terrified by an animal in a game. Resident Evil, the zombie
That's-
dogs when they jump through the window.
How old were you?
Yeah, I would have been early primary school as well.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
been maybe 10. I had a dog at the time, Rastus, tiny little, adorable little shaggy poodle. I was scared of him for 6 months.
No.
Because of zombie dog.
Oh.
Ruined my relationship with Rastus.
Rastus just wants a cuddle and he comes up to you and you're like,
It was just, there would be times where I would be
Oh.
lying in bed and then, because, you know, he was quite a small dog and so he would move quite quietly and then I would just be lying in bed and I would roll over and he would just be standing in the doorway. I go, ah! So yeah.
Little Rastus.
Yeah, I mean, I got over it eventually.
Yeah.
But by that time he
Other-
died. Yeah.
So you never got to enjoy Rastus's life.
No, I'm lying about that bit. He died by the time I moved out of the house. So Rastus and I were tight. By the time Rastus moved on to a better place, we were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My other ones are Quake. Also played a lot of Quake. Also at this friend's house.
Who's letting you play all these games when you're like 6?
Her parents are a bit loosey-goosey.
Yeah, right.
You know? And-
Were your parents not, and that's why you're over there playing all these
no,
hardcore shooters?
I played a lot of shooters with my parents as well. So like, I actually played Wolfenstein with my dad.
Cool.
And you know how it's got the little face at the bottom that changes when he... Yeah, that used to really, really scare me. Like, I used to actually have nightmares about his little
Wow.
face. So my dad cut a little piece of paper out and stuck it on the monitor just where the face was so that we couldn't see it so we could still play with him.
That's so adorable. That's so cute.
Yeah. And then also, yeah, played Quake and was scared. Like, we used to use mods and stuff, and all the different creatures and monsters used to give me nightmares, but I would still be so keen to play.
Yeah. I think that the problem for me when I was younger with those games is that my parents didn't necessarily see them as being something that needed to be moderated because
Yeah.
games are for kids.
Yeah.
So then it was like, oh, okay, what do you want to play? You want to play Resident Evil? Sure. And then I'll get it and it would just be horrible. I mean, I think at one point I got the demo disc. You'd get demo discs for games, and I would play the horror ones, and that was a disaster. That was just a total nightmare. The other thing that really affected me as a child, not necessarily in a scary way, playing GTA, like Red Tim said, that, you know, GTA has some questionable content in it.
Yeah.
Though for me, it wasn't any of the sex or the drugs or the violence. I used to play GTA, and part of the game for me was always driving correctly on the roads. And it still is now, that when I play GTA, I want to obey all the traffic laws, and I want to be turning, and I'm going top down, and I'm making sure it's an American game, I'm always on the right side of the road, I'm making all the turns and stuff correctly.
You're a big nerd.
I was a big nerd, and then when I learnt to adult, and then when I was learning to actually drive, I would drive with my mum, and my instinct was I would pull out onto the right-hand side of the road. And there were so many times where I would just pull out and start driving on the wrong side of the road because all games that had driving, I would be driving on that side, and I had to rethink how I drove. So those are games that have ruined me. I feel like I'm more scared for kids now because not only is everything sort of more realistic looking, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You could play a really completely innocuous game, but if it has an online community, that's the thing that's going to mess you up the most.
I was about to say online, yeah, because we play a lot of Dota.
Yeah.
It's well known that the Dota community can say some things that are unsavory.
It is the worst group of people I have ever been a part
Oh my
of.
gosh, I just remembered something. When I was a kid, I used to play a lot of like MapleStory and Habbo Hotel, which are two... Don't play Habbo Hotel.
Yeah.
Some things were said to me as a child that, you don't know how to deal with, and incredibly inappropriate. And MapleStory got a bit like that as well, just because it's online. And there's not like people find a way around all the censoring and.
My sister played some Second Life.
No.
And it was a situation where, like, I think she put maybe 10 hours into the game total, and it was the entire time she was being propositioned. She played as...
How old was she?
Oh, like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Her character looked as though she was sort of like 14. It was just sex propositions the entire time.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you people? All right, guys. Let us know in the comments what games affected you when you were too young. Did you play anything that was inappropriate for your age, and how did it ruin your relationship with your dog? Let us know in the comments. And while you're on the internet, please check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and YouTube. Want to meet fellow Pucketeers? Then join the Pucketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV. Follow Pocket and Nick Boy at Pierre at GG at Monkey and at Sam Gay. Stop it. She's at Unhurried Yo, and there are links to everything I just said in the description below. You think about changing that to at Red Monkey anytime soon?
It's not gonna happen.
All right, cool. Today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by Alex Pagnozzi. Alex, well done. If you've made a
Thanks,
thing,
Alex.
please send it in. Until tomorrow, Nick, bye up.
Red out.
We're trying to film. Oh God, we deserve to burn to death.
I reckon we just film with it going off.
Yeah, just let it happen. Just let it happen. I don't care. Pete, get your hat. Get your hat. You gotta. Do we? Pete's gone to get his fire warden hat. He's the hero. We don't even deserve him.
Fire's over.
There you go. Good work, Warden. I feel really safe.
Play the evac tone now.